Hey, check it out. You're listening to the Smoking JoeThunder podcast. You can find us on all platforms. Hey, check it out. It's your boy JoeThunder back again with another episode of the Smoking JoeThunder podcast. There, I did it. I'm trying to catch myself, man. Damn it. Leave a little pause right there. But I got my co-host Elvis Freshleee in the building. What's going on, brother?
Yo, what it do, player?
Chilling, man. Trying not to breathe all fucking.
Breathing all hard.
You know what I mean?
It's tough.
Sometimes it's hard for a pimp. Shit, you know what I mean?
Just came up the stairs.
Exactly, man. And I'm winded and I'm fat, and, you know, and hey.
It's like a half hour ago, but whatever.
Right. But shout out to Be Good, our official sponsor.
You know, 114th and Cherokee Street up in North Glen.
11 West Hamden.
Inglewood, Colorado.
Pretty much Hamden and Broadway, if you don't know about the Spaceship Bank, you know what I mean? But we got another special episode for you today. I don't even know where to classify this guy as, but this guy has stories for days already.
Move maker, shaker and baker.
Yeah, shaker, baker, dabber, you know what I mean? Connoisseur, fucking sneakerhead, tattoo head, you know what I mean? List goes on and on.
Yep.
I call him PBJ, PB3, but we got Pat Bowlen Jr. in the motherfucking house. What's going on,
Pat
brother?
Bowlen the third.
It's great to be here, you guys. Great to be here.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks
Chilling.
for having me.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate you coming on through, man. I know this is a real busy time for you now. You got a lot of shit going on, right?
Yeah, you know, it's a stressful, busy time, but being here with you guys, it's good for me, and it kind of takes the stress off a little bit, you know.
Why would you say it's stressful? How's it stressful right now? Just like family shit or what?
Family shit, uncertainties with the sale of the team. It's just a stressful time, but you just gotta pull through, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about the team selling because it's definitely going to sell.
Yeah.
And I'm even thinking, like, man, there might be records that might be broken. I mean, the Broncos are no joke as far as a franchise, as far as I don't want to say logo, but you know what I mean, icon logo. You know what I mean, Elway, like all that shit,
all
man.
Thanks
like,
to my dad too.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. You know what I mean? And
legend.
Kind of tell me a little bit about you, real quick, about who you are. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, I grew up here in Colorado. I was born in Hawaii, actually. My dad bought the team the year I was born, 1984.
84, all right.
Yeah.
Came from Hawaii.
I did.
That's where he was at before?
No. Well, my dad was living in Hawaii at the time.
No, yeah, that's where he had lived prior to the purchase of the Broncos.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay.
And where was your dad from besides, like,
originally?
Yeah. He's Canadian, right?
Yeah, he's Canadian. He was actually born in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, which is not too far from the Canadian border, but he is officially Canadian.
Right?
And so is my mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know how they met?
I do, yeah. My dad was, I'm not sure what the business was at the time, but he was up in his office having a meeting, and my mom was, who's 10 years younger than my father, was downstairs working an internship job. She was painting parking lines in the parking lot of the building that he was working at.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And he looks down and he sees her and he's like, I gotta change things, you know.
Right. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Hell yeah.
Hey, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Oof. Well, I got my brother, my 3 sisters, and then my 2 half-sisters from my dad's previous marriage, so there's 7 of us total.
Wow.
Crazy. So, yeah, I mean, I can definitely see how there's 7 different opinions. It's, you know,
yeah,
a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on, yeah.
Hey, man, that's crazy.
You know, we're starting to agree on things and just come together as a family, which is, you know, what my dad would want.
Do you all get along outside of business, like just family?
Yeah,
you guys are all like
absolutely.
Cool and solid, and
for the most part.
But it's really just opinions about what's going on. Really,
exactly,
that's the issue. That's cool.
Has
at least it's just
opinion,
that, and not like real funk. You know, that's good. That's really good.
No, like
I've seen that go.
Yeah,
wild. I could imagine. But that's cool. That's good that you guys are at least all, you know, on good standings and like each other.
No one wants to kill anyone, right?
Yeah. Like, that's where I'm like, where I'm from. Someone's getting a car and everybody's like ready to kill each other.
It goes down, you know what I mean?
We just, ultimately want to make my dad happy, and want to do that by doing what's best for the team and what's best for us. And that's what's got to happen. The team's got to be sold now, and we've got to move on, and that's fine. We've had a great run with the team, and my dad created an empire.
Yeah, empire. That's not even like a good word. Like, I mean, like the Broncos are up there, like with the Cowboys or like the Raiders, or
they were
like
America's team at one point. They are
like 3 or 4 years ago. America's team.
America's team. The Broncos are not just a fucking little. They're not. I don't want to say no other teams. I don't want to talk no shit. But I'm not trying to clown on Panthers or
the Broncos are
Titans
iconic.
or anybody. But Broncos are iconic.
They're back to back. They should have been back to back.
My dad had a pretty iconic role in bringing the Panthers into the NFL, which is pretty cool.
Really? Too. Oh yeah, that's wild. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's it's a crazy long story, but at one point he was wearing Panthers gear around the house.
Really?
What is this guy doing? Why is he wearing Panthers gear around the house?
That's wild.
Was it because he was like a good price? I mean, I'm probably sure back then you could probably get that franchise for
just
a good price.
In on a deal or something.
Oh, it's
not like nowadays.
Nowadays, it's worth a lot more money than it was.
Right. Do you know what your dad paid for the Broncos?
I don't know. I don't.
If you had to guess, I would say maybe 50 million, 60 million. I don't think it was much. I mean, when you're talking about a franchise like that,
this was 1984,
right? So that's what I'm saying. That sounds about right, man.
I don't even think that much.
Yeah, maybe 20. You don't think? I would say at least on the low. We're going to Google this shit.
I mean, back then $1 million was a lot.
When you get a chance, we need you to Google to see how much.
I got this. Go ahead. Let's see. I'm gonna fact check this shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, your dad was wearing Panther gear, so.
Yeah, around the house. And he was wearing Panther gear. I don't know why, but I mean, obviously it had to do with the role he played in having them become a team in the NFL,
$78 million.
Okay, so that's
you're
still
right.
a good chunk. That's good. That's not bad.
But now
couple
the Billies.
Worth anywhere between $4 and $6 billion.
Yeah, billions.
He said $406 billion.
No, 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
Oh, 4 to 6.
Yeah, hold on.
That much.
Yeah. We really be partying.
Everybody getting $1 billion.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Damn. Hey, so you've grown up in Denver, Colorado, your pretty much whole life, right?
Yeah.
How was that? You're pretty much a Colorado native. I know you were born in Hawaii, but I mean, you grew up here since you were a little baby, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, ever since my dad bought the team, we moved here. I was born the same year my dad bought the team, 1984, like we were discussing, and I've been out here in Colorado my whole life. What's
your earliest memories of the Broncos?
Probably my dad's old office off of around 58th and Washington.
I remember that place.
Yeah. And then
I remember that. Right by
the hood. That's where we're from.
Yeah.
I used to.
That's where we're from.
And then across from Mile High, which is now the parking lot for the new stadium in Power Field, they had these metal warehouses, which are still there. I don't know what the company is now, but that's where the Broncos did all their indoor practicing.
No, I never knew that.
Oh, shit, really?
No, I remember them on right there, on 58th.
Yeah, that's where all the offices were.
Nice.
That's crazy.
How explain? Because I know about this stuff, but explain kind of stuff back then. Like you said, you could see the players, you could meet the players, to stuff nowadays where you can't get next to kind of anyone. Especially with shit going down the way it's been going. Yeah, people getting attacked, people getting smacked, people getting it seems like everything nowadays, right?
It's crazy, yeah. I since all of this has started and since COVID started, I really haven't, been interested in going around the office just because I don't want to be bothered,
Right.
I still go and watch practice, or I did last year and the year before, but I've just been kind of trying to avoid the place.
Right. We kind of talked about earlier, like not that you're, out yet. You always have love for the Broncos, but it's kind of like you're in a different stage right now than when you were growing up being a ball boy and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I still love the NFL, and I'll still love the Broncos, but I don't think I'll be as emotionally invested as I was before,
Exactly.
It's not going to ruin my day and my life if they lose a game or don't go to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, that would have been nice if we could have just won one more. We have
for your mom, right?
Yeah, for my mom, who's experiencing the same condition my dad did, which was Alzheimer's. It's terrible fucking disease. I wouldn't wish it on the worst fucking person in the world, but
no, for real.
Unfortunately, she has it now too. No signs of it in her side of the family, so it's just strange, seeing her catch the same thing. But it would have been nice, to win just one more for her, before we got rid of the team. But
you know what?
Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that.
You never can say never.
Right.
Because you guys just added Russell Wilson to the equation.
That's right.
So, you honestly never know. I'm sure it's going to get sold. I don't think, who knows? It might be next week, but
it'll be sold before the season starts.
Oh, you think so for sure?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
He said absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Of course. It's the Broncos.
Are we just waiting for the
Broncos,
dot the I's and cross the T's pretty much?
Pretty much. I think there's maybe like 4 or 5 investors left in the bidding war for it, but, we can only hope for the most out of these guys,
Let's get a bidding war going, you know what I mean?
I know Bill Walton's and highly invested in this situation, the guy that owns Walmart. Okay. And that guy really looked up to my dad, too, so if anyone, I'd like to see him on the team. It's just kind of strange because he's such an old dude, It's just like, how long is he going to be able to withstand owning this team
the wear and tear
before he has to sell the team,
or even just understanding? Because shit is different. And I'm sure, I know they get everything that's going on, but you know what I mean. Just shit's a little different. You're not a player. You're not young. You're not. I don't know.
It's gonna be different now.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. What were some kind of your I don't know, maybe favorite memories, kind of growing up with the Broncos?
Oh, so many. Where do I start?
Because you were there from day one.
Yeah,
from the beginning. That's a wild trip to think of that right there. Just to think of the Broncos starting in '89. So give you what you said, 84, 94. You're 10 years old. Yeah. From '94 till fucking now. You've been on a fucking crazy roller coaster where a lot of people really don't get to see. You're definitely in a class of your own when it comes to shit like that.
Yeah, I guess my very first really memorable experience was, and I told you guys about this earlier before we started, but going into the locker room with gear from the Broncos.
Yeah. So you go to the store? Would you guys have a room in the the headquarters?
Team store, and I get whatever I want.
Literally
for free,
So how many jerseys are you grabbing? You grab 10 jerseys? You just grab one or two?
I'd maybe one or two.
Keep it conspicuous.
A jersey, maybe a deck of sports cards. But I would take this stuff into the locker room before and after games, and I'd have John Elway sign this shit. and I would go out into the parking lot, and I'd try and sell all this stuff to fans in the parking lot.
And how did you how did they believe you, or how did you kind of let them know? Did you just tell them I'm fucking
I just,
PBJ, or
I'm just pulling you in here, and this is what I have.
And they look at you real quick.
Yes, we'll buy this shit.
Right. What were you getting on the Elway jersey back then? I'm just curious. Were you letting them go super cheap, or were you fucking getting 200, 300? Because still, it's a jersey, And
I don't want to bullshit you guys. I can't even remember, honestly. I was so young,
he had a fat stack of cash in his.
I was probably charging maybe like $40. Who knows?
You probably were charging like $40.
Wasn't asking for more.
Yo, if you ever got one out there, you're fucking lucky.
Right.
You came up. It really is legit.
They're gonna find that shit in Storage Wars or some shit.
Yo, if you really if you bought a jersey from a kid in the parking lot that said he was Patrick Bowlen and sold you
94, 95,
that was legit. You really have a real.
It's real deal. 100% authentic.
And that's one of the things we were talking about. Is like Elway. Like me, I've always thought Elway's been cool. Like I've never had bad experience. I get it. When they're older, they may get a certain way. You're trying to bug him while he's eating and shit like that. But back in the day, like I said, when he was a young quarterback and he was the man, he would he wouldn't go out of the locker room at Mile High Stadium with everyone else. He would go out where you go in.
Yeah.
But he would have him pull his bins back by the door, and then he would let whatever fans wanted to go back there and get his autograph. And after every game, he would sign for everyone. And I remember giving people, towels and stuff, just cool stuff. You know what I mean? And he was the coolest man. I've never seen him be like a jackass or anything.
All-American man. I seen him at his daughter's basketball game. We were the most obnoxious kids there. It was North High School versus Cherry Creek High School, right? I swear, true story. And every time his daughter made a fucking basket, everybody would yell, "Touchdown!" I swear, on some asshole shit. Because they're, destroying our team. Right. The girls got whooped by fucking Elway's daughter. What's her name? Anyways, they got destroyed by their team, and we're all like, whatever. And at the end, we all went and got autographs from him, and he still happily, with a smile, signed everybody's autograph.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He didn't give a shit. It was so funny though. It was pretty funny though. The fucking game was wild at Cherry Creek. I was like, oh shit,
that's dope. I remember he came to our high school once to talk. You know how you would get your Bronco every once in a while, and they're like, "Oh, he's coming." And everyone's like, "Yeah, right." He coming. Sure. And that fool showed up and did his little talk to us and signed a couple autographs. It's cool.
Great.
Back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, do you have any crazy pieces of memorabilia that you've gotten from the Broncos throughout the years?
Yeah, lots of stuff.
I'm sure, I was talking about earlier, I'm sure you got a probably garage or storage.
Do you have an epic one?
I got a Steve Atwater jersey. He's my favorite player.
Smiling Assassin.
Yes. We were talking about him earlier.
Yeah, he's
Christian
dope.
Okoye.
The Okoye killer.
Yeah, the Okoye killer, man.
He killed
about Steve Atwater, man.
The Orange Crush.
The Orange Crush, bro.
He's from Arkansas.
That's a bad dude right there.
I got some cards, some John Elway rookie cards.
Yeah. Sick.
I think I got a signed football. The most special thing I have is a drawing by the bartender that worked in my parents' suite. He's a phenomenal artist named J.P. Snagglegrove. You can try and look him up. He doesn't have an Instagram page yet. We're working on that. But anyways, he drew a picture of all of the Ring of Fame players and coaches, including a picture of my dad. Everything was hand drawn, and it has signatures for most of these guys. Everyone from Frank to Tommy Nalen to Elway to Terrell Davis. It's a priceless piece of art, and that's probably my favorite thing.
That's really tight.
Yeah,
that's dope. And you've been to all the Super Bowls and everything.
Yeah.
Were you on the fucking fire truck when we won that shit a couple times?
Yeah. I got a picture on my phone.
Yeah.
I was on the same fire truck as Emmanuel Sanders This is for Super Bowl 50.
Right.
Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas.
R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace to that guy. I love him to death. I miss him so much, man. But yeah, I was on a fire truck for that. And that was phenomenal. I was also on a fire truck for the first two, but I was so much younger, I don't really remember too much of it, you know.
The last one, the 50, you got to kind of absorb more because, like you said, you're a little older, right?
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 7 of us and 38 now.
And speaking of Super Bowl 50, you were on the field for that, right?
Yeah, at the very end, I was on the field. After we won, I was with my family, my wife, my daughter, my brothers and sisters. We were all in line to get into the locker room, and Rod Smith shows up behind me, and he looks at me. He's like, "Hey, Pat, give me your daughter. It's the only way I'm going to get myself into the locker room right now." So I give Rod my daughter with no questions asked, and
y'all slide right through security.
Slide right through. He didn't have any credentials for that game. He was just there, and he wasn't with the media or anything, so he didn't have any credentials to get him into the locker room. So that was the only way for him to get in, was for me basically to hand him my daughter, who was 1 year old at the time. You know,
and they're definitely letting her in. Yeah. Don't tell her no.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you? We talked about that season. What do you think of that season? I almost think that's kind of like the most magical season that we've ever had, because we went through some trials and tribulations.
Yeah. It's, for me, it's a toss up between that season and the
Green Bay,
the season that took us to the Super Bowl against Green Bay, which we won also.
Oh man,
that was crazy.
That
was amazing.
That was when we kind of like
to the very end
game, right?
I think, maybe one or two games.
No, it was the next year when we played Atlanta.
Played Atlanta, yeah.
That was when we almost had a perfect season.
Gotcha.
We were like 13-0 or 12-0, 13-0, something like that.
And what's wild about that is that's kind of like similar situations, except for fucking Green Bay gave us a run for our money.
Yeah,
like they were totally expecting to wipe us off the clock.
I mean, they were favorites. It was a game all the way to the very end when
they fucking killed it.
Helicopter,
when the most epic took the helicopter tackle.
We saw how bad he wanted that Super Bowl.
That was it. That was the proof there.
I mean, they could have come back, but John Mobley took that interception, or was it a deflection? I can't remember.
Yeah.
A deflection.
Mobley was the man too.
He was the man. Yeah.
We had the sick team then too.
Him, Al Wilson,
we were talking about
Terrell Davis, Bill the Romo, man.
The Romo Cup.
Romo Cup. Oh shit. He did movies after this shit. Like,
do you have any crazy Romo stories? I'm sure he was wild.
Yeah, I do.
Sick.
Lots of crazy Romo stories. I don't really want to talk too much about it, to be honest with you.
It's all good.
It's kind of sensitive, but I do have one cool story to tell. When he wrote his book, which kind of exposed all the steroid issues in the NFL and beyond, he respectfully gave my dad a rough copy. I remember finding it in my dad's closet and reading through it and reading about all this shit with him and with other people and with steroid use. But it was really, really crazy stuff. You know?
And it was probably like the unedited version, right?
Oh, yeah. The rough draft unedited version. So it had stuff in it that wasn't in the published copy.
Right. Because Romo, man, he was like one of those cats where you definitely wanted him on your team. You didn't want him as an enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember he had... it was this company called EMS, I think.
It
was
vitamins, right?
A vitamin supplement company, yeah. And he had a tackle box, probably close to 200 supplements and vitamins a day this guy would take. He would bring it to the locker room with him because they were all NFL approved.
Right.
Supposedly. Who knows? You know. But, yeah.
That's a lot of fucking supplements. That's like, I mean, almost an hour just to fucking take those motherfuckers, right?
Well, he would take like 10, 15 at a time, just huge handfuls. You know?
He reminds me of the guy on the program. You know what I'm talking about? Remember the program where the guy is like, he's like the big dude, like the boss kind of.
Okay.
And he's like doing steroids and he's having to fucking take out his piss and putting it back in and he's fucking blowing up. It's like a football movie, you know what I mean? Where they get the recruit.
Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wow's is fucking, he's like just fucking.
Is this an older movie?
It's like a 90s movie probably.
Yeah, he literally takes a syringe and sticks it through his stomach into his bladder and drains all the dirty urine out of his bladder.
Puts in fresh.
And then puts in clean urine.
Like when he finds out he's a starter, he goes out of the parking lot and starts fucking headbutting like windows and windshields and starts breaking them, and the coaches are like, fuck, like.
Oh, I think I did see that shit. I do know exactly.
He's the running back and he takes the old school's food and he's fucking posting up his chick and fucking the whole.
Another great story involving movies. Any Given Sunday, the movie with
great movie. Jamie
Al
Foxx.
Pacino and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
My dad allowed Al Pacino to come to games and be on the field because he wanted to emulate Mike Shanahan. So we had Al Pacino on the field several times. The cheerleaders in that movie were mostly Bronco cheerleaders.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a little bit of a cool connection there as well.
Hell yeah. Like, the Broncos do have some fans like that. They don't know, but, like, you know what I mean? We have some fans outside of Colorado. Like, I know T.I. is like a Broncos fan.
DJ.
Yeah, Tiesto.
Yeah, he's a huge Broncos fan.
Hell yeah. Hey, we were talking about earlier. What are, like, your top 3, top 5 Broncos of all time?
Well, top 3 is hard for me, but I'll go top 5. I'd say Steve Atwater, Al Wilson, Terrell Davis, John Elway, and Von Miller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good lineup right there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more in your like kind of like teen years, like that were more the times when the Broncos were kind of down. Like maybe I'm thinking like Mike Pritchard. You remember Mike Pritchard, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Receivers. Who else was Jake
Vance
Plummer?
Johnson.
Well, Vance Johnson. Those are earlier. I'm talking like Jake Plummer, Greasy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Brian Greasy. Who else? Who was the one quarterback that we had that Tebow. Was like? Well, Tebow was good too. No, but there's an Orton. I want to say.
Kyle Orton.
We've had some wild.
That guy was a tool bag.
Were you there?
Was it really?
Yeah, absolute tool.
That's funny. Hey, were you there for the Tebow days? Because that was pretty fucking wild.
I was.
I'm glad you brought that up because, like, real quick, like, I think Elway hated on Tim Tebow. I have a whole thing about this. And what it is to me is Tim Tebow was on a level of popularity that was fucking out the roof, where a lot of people work years and years. It's almost like kind of nowadays when you're an artist or a musician, you don't put in the work and you kind of blow right away. You know what I mean? Because Tim Tebow, like, I remember that shit, bro. The Broncos and Tim Tebow were on fucking ESPN every fucking night for like 3 months straight.
Every night.
I'm the main shit.
And at games, we would have fans of Tim Tebow. They would show up, but they weren't even football fans.
Right?
Because he was a really religious dude. We would have these missionaries and these other religious fans of his.
New fucking demographic.
They would just show up to the games just to watch him
do the Tim Tebow and kneel.
Do the Tim Tebow kneel and watch him walk through the tunnel at the beginning of the game. They could have cared less about football, anything else. Which was wild, you know, but it was tight. It was kind of cool at the same time, you know.
Take it.
I remember hearing a story like he was in New York because this was like maybe a month after he started popping, and like Mello was in New York too, and they have like in stores literally like a half a mile from each other, and there's like almost 1 million people at Tim Tebow's shit, and there's like maybe a couple thousand at Mel's, but like Tim Tebow,
I wouldn't doubt it.
He was that guy, man, and like you watch his documentary.
He was a virgin.
Yeah.
He was.
I couldn't kind of believe that. There was a couple other NFL players where like they were so into sports that, you know, I don't remember who it was, but it was like a safety for like Washington or something. But he didn't have sex till he got married, and he's like, I was just into sports and wanted to make the NFL and didn't want no distractions in life. It's, I guess, yeah.
A lot of these guys, they sustain themselves from having it for at least a week before a game sometimes, just to keep their concentration level up, and
like a boxer almost.
Yeah.
And then once the season over, it's on.
Oh yeah,
it's Wu-Tang orgy.
That's when everybody gets pregnant. That's when everybody gets pregnant.
For real.
All the strippers in Atlanta get pregnant
at the same time. What's funny is talking about the Super Bowl, man, is I remember like, and even the All-Star games, I remember like they would bring in like hookers and strippers from like other cities, like groups of 20, and they'd fucking work the All-Star game and work the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
I remember going to an American Bowl in Barcelona, and I think I was like 14 or 15. I don't know. You guys can do the math. You can look up when the American Bowl was.
American Bowl.
I'm 38 years old now, but I must have been like 13, 14, maybe 15 years old. But I still remember to this day going to Barcelona, and I was with our nanny and our nanny's husband. She was our nanny at the time. She still is. But her husband took me to the nude beaches in Barcelona.
Oh shit!
And I remember seeing all these tits when I was like 13, 14 years old, and I've only seen them, in my dad's nudie magazines.
Right.
Another great story for you. My parents were huge friends / fans of Hugh Hefner. They were really closely connected with him, so they visited the Playboy Mansion a lot.
Quite a few times.
That's like a tight.
Had you ever been there?
I haven't. No.
Not even as like an adult.
No. I want to go.
Can you imagine being like the owner of like?
It's not for a lack of wanting.
Yeah, that's
It's tough to get in there.
Yeah.
Is it still?
You gotta. Oh, bro, you can't just get in there.
What do you think it costs to rent that sucker? 1.5?
You don't rent this. No? You don't rent that sucker. I mean, you do if you get an invite to rent it.
Okay.
I think it's like that. I don't think you could.
We should look it up, see what's going on. Maybe we can rent this thing.
Right.
I'm gonna do fact checks again.
Hey, real quick, let's talk more about like Tebow though, because that was like a crazy time. Like, even though the team wasn't doing that good, like he was kind of like, I don't want to say carrying them, but like you said, he was bringing a whole different demographic.
Yeah, he was kind of an electric guy on the field. And yeah, he brought a.
Do you think Elway liked him or not? I think kind of Elway didn't like him because, like I said, he's like, that fool's lucky.
I don't know. It's tough to tell, and I never really.
Because Elway didn't draft him, right? It was the guy from New England, McDaniels, drafted him.
McDaniels, yeah.
After he did some dumbass shit.
That guy was
he is a toy, right?
What a tool.
I'll give him a little bit though. Cutler was a toy too. Cutler was like, he's like, I don't know. Yeah. I've met a lot of people, a lot of athletes, a lot of motherfuckers, and he was definitely just cut from a different kind of cloth. Like, he wasn't like cool, like, you know what I mean? It was just weird with him. Like, he was different. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain, but he was like, maybe he was just like that quarterback kid, like Peyton Manning. Just, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know.
I didn't really like him myself, but, hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, like I said, Tebow brought like excitement, man.
He was kind of electric on the field, and he brought up a lot of excitement to the team. And like you were saying earlier, we were on ESPN almost every night because
for
of that
like
guy.
3 months, every fucking night
during the season.
Not just like a little minute or dude. It was like the first 30 minutes of that bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's tight. That was great fucking publicity, advertising for the Broncos. You guys, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he comes out And the first play of overtime, were you there? I know you were there. You had to have been there. First play of overtime to Demaryius Thomas.
Was that like a 60, 70 yard throw?
70 yard touchdown. After everyone's like, especially even though you can't throw. To bring a fucking playoff win to Denver in that fashion was epic.
It was pretty cool.
It definitely goes down, bro. Like, yeah, that was tight. Like, what the fuck? It's like a Mike Tyson fight. You turn to the left real quick, or you can grab a sandwich real quick. That motherfucker's over. You're just like, what the fuck happened?
You go get a bag of roasted nuts or a hot dog, and you're missing whatever's happening, you know?
What was the feeling like? I'm sure you were in the locker room after that. What was that like after that shit happened, bro? Or being on the field when fucking that shit went down? Because it was already being hyped up, like you said. So this was really like the cherry on the top for him. I mean, the only thing that could happen more if he won another game, but even nothing else mattered. He won the first fucking play in overtime, and he made it happen when no one said he could.
Yeah, I think at that time I was working for the video department for the team. I would run pictures of the plays,
but they were taking the screenshots
of
the plays
on the field, and I'd run them up to the press box, and I would drop them off, and then I'd come back down, and I'd keep doing that all game long. So I think I may have missed that play actually because I was in the process of.
It was overtime. They were probably trying to game plan real quick and see what formations was going down.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's crazy. Because that shit was like, I remember seeing that shit on TV like it was yesterday. Like, damn, this motherfuckers just smoked them.
I remember seeing Super Bowl 50. Well, I remember it was like it was yesterday, you know. I wish we had more days like that.
True. Hey, you're into all kinds of shit too, bro. You're like a sneaker connoisseur. You're into tattoos. Talk about that shit, man. What kind of makes you fucking... I don't want to say smile, but it makes you fucking feel good. Like, I know tattoos do, right?
Yeah, I love getting tattooed. I got, probably over 50 now. And I started just over a year and a half ago. And I'd probably say my favorite guy right now is... It's a toss-up. I got a friend, Rick. He goes by Flip Shades. He's an amazing tattoo artist. He works out of Long Live Tattoo Collective on Santa Fe Drive here in Denver. And I'd say my other favorite is probably Lorenzo Baca. That guy is phenomenal at what he does. He's a beast. Black and white, black gray portrait tattoo artist, and he's probably the number one dude in the world for that kind of tattooing, in my opinion. So look him up too.
In the world, Craig.
No, you're not lying either.
His tattoos heal great, and they look exactly like the picture you give them. So
and that shit on the Instagram, they be floating lately, huh?
Yeah,
motherfucker tattoos be floating, fool.
Well, you can see, and you see like a lot of tattoo artists will post some shit, and it's fresh, and you don't see it healed.
Yeah.
You know, Lorenzo's shit healed looks fucking...
Yeah.
Looks good.
What it's supposed to
look shit
like.
on mine, that last that he did looks like he just did it yesterday, bro.
Yeah, it's just his work is amazing.
And that's actually how I kind of ran into you. Like, he's the good homie, and while I was kicking with, chopping up with him, and one day I roll in and just sit down, start talking shit, probably about some fucking who knows what, bitches, whatever, some dumb shit, you know?
Bitches, dabs, whatever, you
exactly.
know?
And he's like, "It's Pat Bowlen Jr." You know what I mean? I'm like, "What's up?" We start talking, and then you just kind of found out you're into sneakers, all kinds of other crazy shit, man. Smoking weed, shit. That's wild. And you've known him before too, right?
Yeah, that was funny. And then you're like, yeah, and I was like, oh yeah,
the connection. Where I was like,
that's my guy.
Like, yeah, I know him too. And then they're like, yeah,
that's my homie. Yeah, no, it's the shit. You know, I met you through your brother, who
be good.
Was shit, man. He always would come in, we'd chop it up and hang out, and then he brought you through and was able to link up and kick it. And ever since then, it's just been good people, good vibes. You guys always showed love, it's dope as fuck. So definitely appreciate you,
I appreciate that. Yeah, well, I don't shop at the dispensary much more any longer. And when I do, it's B Goods. You know, they got everything I need.
He's on that different level.
Yeah.
Everything I need at the great price. You know, they got the Llama brand from Tony Carras, and they got Single Source, who was also from Tony Cross and Ken Wall. Two great companies. It's just a great store and a great experience. Yeah.
Thank you, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, where are some of the other places though that you say like are at the top of the weed game? Because I mean, you've traveled not just the fucking United States, you've been all over the world.
What cities are killing it?
You know, I've been to Amsterdam.
Is that what it lives up to be, or is it cool?
It's a cool experience, but I wouldn't say the cannabis is great.
Not like nowadays. Like nowadays, like maybe 20 years ago, we'd go to Amsterdam. Right now, we go to Denver, or we go to LA, or we go to Seattle, right?
Yeah, it's
definitely.
The United States has it.
The best weed in the world right now, probably at least in my opinion, the best weed in the world right now comes from the Bay Area of California.
I could give you that.
That's some fire up there.
I'm thinking that Golden Gate Park shit, bro. That's just the.
I love.
It just cures so good out there. It just cures so good out there.
Yeah. I mean,
it cures so good.
Colorado's got great weed. You know, I don't disagree with that at all, but it's so dry out here that your product just turns into sawdust, you know. But no, I in my opinion, the best stuff comes from the Bay Area. I have friends that own a compliant company out there, Feeling Frosty Hash, and they're doing some of the most amazing stuff I've seen in the world, you know. And I don't tell many people this, but this guy taught me everything I know about hash, you know. And I remember the days where I'd be in my backyard doing stupid stuff. and this is where it is now, you know. It's a totally different experience.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I said, you definitely.
You squish it? You mess around?
I have.
You messed around?
Always outside. I was never stupid enough to do it indoors. But no, I don't do any of that bullshit now, and I smoke mainly just rosin because of health reasons and just because it's better in my opinion.
Yeah, you got some fire too. Traditional market's best.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, for sure.
I know. I brought some Bubba Mints over, and that was stunk up the whole room for you guys.
Hell yeah, that shit is insane.
And Davin is like your favorite, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite for sure. It's just more convenient for me, and yeah, it's just better.
And if people don't know, people in the NFL be smoking a gang of weed, not just recently. Like, they've been smoking. And the NBA been smoking.
All the time.
I actually remember, like, a minute, I think we talked about that, where, like, they couldn't smoke weed. They were kind of clamping down on this. Is way, like, I don't know if I ever thought weed.
Yeah, they're like weed testing type shit.
Yeah, and I remember, like, they had the Black Mamba shit, and they were smoking the spice shit. And it was like, man, like, them in military, it's always seemed the only two motherfuckers that really fuck with that shit. Parole people, people that play professional sports, and military. Because I still wanted to get high. You know what I mean?
I remember one time I smoked Salvia Divinoria.
Oh, yeah, I fucking tried that crazy shit one time.
Fuck that stuff, bro.
Fuck that stuff.
I thought I was going to die.
I thought I was dead.
For eternity, and apparently it only lasted 15 fucking minutes. But
bro, that shit was crazy.
I remember some fool slipped us kind of some shit like that one time, and my homie, like, I don't remember if I hit it or not, if my homie hit it first, but he was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, it's some spice. And like, well, you better tell us if you giving us some shit like that.
This shit's a whole different thing.
It's salvia.
Explain what it is.
Their spirits.
Salvia, salvia.
Peyote or what?
No, it's not. It's an hallucinogenic.
You take off.
It looks kind of like sage or something, you know?
You blast off, bro.
But you smoke that stuff and you go to the fucking moon.
You blast the fuck off
for 15 minutes, and it's like a peyote high. I've never done peyote, but I'm assuming it's like that because you can go either way with your trip depending how you're mentally going into it, you know. So you can either have a good trip or a bad trip, and I had a bad trip. It was terrible. I mean, you can't even find this stuff on the shelves in head shops anymore. That's how dangerous it was.
Yo,
it was some shit like that.
Yeah. You literally
some synthetic shit,
bro.
No, it wasn't synthetic. It was like an herb or a weed that grew.
Be smoking that shit.
It is. It grows.
Native Americans would smoke.
It grows out in the wild. Yeah, it's like
it grew out in the wild. It was like a light hallucinogenic,
bro. And when I tell you blast off, I forgot I took it. I forgot everything. I didn't even know what was happening. Nothing. I thought I died. I was dying.
Oh shit! Elvis has got 2 blunts in his hand right now. What are you doing?
We got 2 blunts.
Passing over here. But bro, I took the fuck off. I forgot I did it. All of a sudden, I'm all over the place. I don't even know what's going on. I'm seeing these weird fucking shapes and bubbles and crazy shit.
It was uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable as fuck. I started drooling for no reason.
Man.
I couldn't keep it together. And then, after a while of doing that shit, tripping out, I came back to, and it wasn't 15 minutes for me. It was like 30 seconds in real life, but it felt like fucking forever.
Yeah.
And when I came back, I was like, what the fuck happened? And I thought I drooled, but there was nothing. And I was like, was I drooling? And they're like, oh, is that what you thought you were doing? And it was the craziest experience of my life.
What did your friends tell you?
They were just laughing because I was just all blank.
Oh my God, that's not good.
Yeah. Everyone's we're like right out of high school, you know what I mean? Fucking dumb fucking kids.
Well, yeah, solventless is my choice for
solventless sure. Is the way to go.
It's just, for me, it's better. I have irritable bowel syndrome, and this stuff with solvents in it just fucking wrecks me. But no, I love the high that hash gives me. But first and foremost, I do it for my brain. I suffer from seizures, so it's a win-win situation either way for me.
Shit, right?
It makes me feel better and prevents me from having a seizure too, which is great,
Hey, do you ever think it'd be legal, like it is now?
Yeah, I do. I thought it would have happened a lot quicker, but it's
should have never been illegal.
Yeah, it should have never been illegal in the first place.
The whole federal shit is crazy.
Yeah. I don't remember who that FBI guy was, but
that's some fucking dickhead, bro.
Yeah.
Reefer madness, man.
Yeah.
Right. And you remember the first time you smoked weed?
I do, yeah.
What was that like? Did you get high or?
I didn't know what it was supposed to feel like to be high, so I don't really know if I was high. I remember I was like 15. Me and my buddy, we didn't have anything to smoke out of, so we took my lacrosse stick, cut the head of the lacrosse stick off, took the rubber butt off, and stuffed a piece of foil in there, and we just smoked it like it was a giant chillum.
That's a mission, bro. You cut the head of the lacrosse
I was ready to sacrifice my piece of sports equipment to get high.
Hell yes.
So I take it you played lacrosse?
I did.
And take it you quit right after that? No, I'm just kidding.
I continued to play.
He probably had like 10 sticks, bro. He probably,
he's
the owner of his dad owns the Broncos. He's probably like 100 sticks, bro. It's like,
you needed a few, because lacrosse is a violent game.
It's vicious,
out there
snapping sticks,
slashing, and
What's funny is you'll never believe this, but as a fat motherfucker over, I played for TJ in high school.
Lacrosse?
And that shit was fun. Fuck
Hell
yeah, bro.
yeah.
There's a couple of those motherfuckers from the hood that played.
Damn,
like, I played football.
Getting it.
So all the football, like a lot of the football players, we get to hit fools. Like,
I wish there was video like there is now.
I remember, I can't say this fool's name because he's kind of tied into the Broncos. Like, I can't say his name, but I remember this fool laid out an umpire, bro. like came running and like, I don't know if full moon word, but laid him out, bro. And he got like suspended for the whole year. And he was like, it's funny because I mean, he was cool, bro, back in the day. He's kind of like that white boy that was cool, like had money, but kind of like he kind of reminded me almost the guy on Project X, kind of not that much, but kind of they had tattoos of St. Eyes on their ankle and shit. You know, I'm giving too much away. You might figure this out, not just but this fool like laid the ump out, bro. And we used to always battle Cherry Creek, and that was like the biggest rivalry, football, lacrosse, or everything.
That's awesome.
That was crazy, man. But that was fun. That shit was.
That's hilarious.
My homie Andy, he used to do the face off, and he broke this fool's shoulder off the face off, bro. Like boom, like I was like stop, like little time out for 15 minutes, like hold this fool out. It was fun. I think I definitely liked it more than football for real.
Talking about that brings up another great Bronco moment. For me, I was a ball boy. And this happened up in Greeley when we had training camp up there. I was in between two fields, and I was looking the other way, and Ed McCaffrey caught a ball, and I turned around right as he was catching the ball right in front of me, and he was catching it out of bounds, and he just absolutely destroyed me.
Oh, shit.
Took me out.
I
wasn't paying attention, you know.
Right.
I had my knee down and I was facing the other direction, so.
And McCaffrey's a big boy, too.
Oh, yeah, I love that guy.
He's another
I watched him get hauled off of the field. I was at Invesco. Was it Invesco?
Yeah, I was at Invesco. I was standing on the field.
Yeah.
That was
at
Peyton's
the
first
30-yard line, right in front of where it happened.
Oh my god!
I heard his leg break. It sounded like a toothpick snapping. I could hear it.
I was working in the back. We watched it on TV, and then I watched them roll him out. Go to the ambulance. I was like, we're working in the kitchen. And
I was still a ball boy at that point, you know?
Yeah, holy shit.
I was sitting down there. I don't know what I was doing at that point. I think I was maybe holding cords for a coach or something, but I was there right in front of where it happened.
How many different jobs have you had for the Broncos, bro? I'm at least saying about 100 of them, right?
No, for the team, I was...
Because I'm sure as a kid they had you doing everything, like you said, running plays.
I mean, they had me doing everything, you know, but I was considered a ball boy. You know, I had another job where I was running plays from the coordinator's box to the field and back and whatnot. But, you know, they had me doing tons of shit. It was a lot of fun.
Did you ever get a ring?
I did. I have all 3 rings. They're in my safety deposit box.
Damn.
Sick.
Pull them out that much.
Yeah, you don't need to flex.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't need to flex them, you know.
Right. More like an investment. Yeah.
You got 3 Super Bowl rings.
And you know, whenever you go see him, you might, if you're lucky, see him one day. But
see him one day out flexing. If you see him with them on, he's flexing.
Whenever you go to your safe deposit box, next time you need to take a quick picture for the gram and just
just
flex
send
them.
it, not even for the gram, just send it to us.
I will, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to see that shit. That shit's hard.
Damn, that's crazy. And we were talking earlier about your dad's jacket. Like, that shit's kind of legendary. You said there's a couple of them. The one's in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, one's in the Hall of Fame. For people that don't know, my dad, they weren't, there was leather jackets, but there was...
I'm talking about the fur one.
The fur ones.
That's pimp shit.
Yeah. My dad was an OG pimp for sure. He had a couple of those furs. They're all still in storage. They're for us, the children, when the time comes. But there's also one in the Hall of Fame in honor of him, too, which is pretty cool.
Right.
These aren't cheap furs either. These are like... You know, fur coat's the price of a
probably 100 racks.
Price of a Ferrari. You know,
when you're an owner, you're not wearing though. You're wearing that real deal, like fucking shit that ain't no one got.
Yeah, nobody else has that shit.
For real.
There's not another one of those.
Did your dad ever kind of buy any kind of crazy shit like that where you were just like, you were even just like, damn, like fuck.
My dad loved to spend money.
Sick flex. Yeah.
And he wasn't afraid to flex either.
What was the illest flex you've seen him do?
Probably the fur coat, you know.
Just
walking around with a fur coat on, because who the fuck does that, you know? My dad. Maybe if you select other people like Joe Namath, you know.
Yeah, you're not seeing many at all.
No.
That Bowlen, that's it.
Was being his son or being part of like the Broncos, I mean, that probably had to get you almost access anywhere.
Oh yeah. I went a lot of places, you know. Probably one of my most favorite experiences was during the Super Bowl we lost. They had a VIP party for us. It was from DirecTV, I believe. But they had Beyonce and JayZ do a 10-set show for all the owners and the VIPs in the NFL.
That's fucking ridiculous right there. Like, the access, like, to think about that, like, for the owners only.
Yeah.
You got JayZ and fucking Beyonce, like, doing a fucking, nearly probably almost, a 40-minute set?
Yeah, at least 45 minutes. And I remember walking upstairs to the VIP lounge, and I look over my shoulder and I see Bob Kraft sitting in this couch area, and he's got like a 17-year-old, 18-year-old girl with him, and I'm just like, what is going on here? And then I look to my right, I got Tom Arnold, and then as I'm walking in, I forgot to tell you guys this, I walked in with Chris Tucker and his girlfriend, Chris Tucker, the guy from Friday, The Fifth Element, and
because one thing about the Super Bowl, man, is literally there are fucking famous people everywhere, like every fucking where.
David Beckham was in the box next to us for Super Bowl 50, so that was pretty cool.
David Beckham.
Yeah, David Beckham.
That's fucking wild, man. You have any crazy wild nights where just fucking
with my dad. I remember going out one night with my dad, and we had a little too much to drink. You know, I think we finished 2 bottles of wine between the two of us, Del Frisco's. And my dad drove us home with the Greenwood Village Police Department car right behind us the whole way, and the guy didn't fuck with us at all.
Chaperoning you.
Chaperoning us.
What's the biggest bill you've ever seen your dad pay, like at a restaurant or like, you know what I mean, some shit like that?
Oh man.
Yeah, those are probably insane.
Yeah, I mean, just like fucking night at fucking where.
I mean, we went as a family went to Del Frisco's every Saturday night. And there was 7 of us eating, and my mom and my dad were drinking wine and having cocktails. So you can only imagine how much a steak dinner for 7 people at Del Frisco's is. It's upwards of 3 racks at least, you know.
Right.
My dad wasn't afraid to spend money, you know. He wanted to make sure we were all happy and all taken care of, so.
Did you have like a lot of I'm sure you had just like fucking perks out the ass, like people trying, you know what I mean? Like traveling, fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone trying to.
I had access to seats for the Colorado Avalanche and the Denver Nuggets. My dad almost bought those 2 teams and almost bought the Pepsi Center, but Stan Kroenke, that asshole, fucking outbid him, and my dad was like, I'm not dropping another dime that doesn't make business sense to me. So he never ended up buying those teams in the Pepsi Center.
Let me ask you about that. Was your dad ever salty?
Yeah.
That the Avalanche won actually brought the first kind of championship to like Colorado?
Oh, I don't think so. No, not at all.
No, not on that end. I think
No.
Elway was, because do you remember it? That's a classic like Elway moment. Like we got the Avalanche, and we had this kind of crazy team that we really don't know about. And then this guy Patrick Waugh gets into it with his team, and then they ship him to Denver. And I remember Elway making fun of like Waugh on the news, like, wow, Roy, what the fuck's the difference? Who's, blah, blah, blah. And then they win the Stanley Cup that first year, you know what I mean? Then they win it again with Bork the next year. Yeah. That's just wild.
My dad was heavily influenced in other sports, too. He was a real estate lawyer and a development agent before he bought the team. He built the old arena that the Edmonton Oilers played in.
Oh shit!
And not many people know this. It was not really, released as news. But my dad played a huge part in Wayne Gretzky signing with the Edmonton Oilers originally before he went to the Los Angeles Kings.
How was that?
I don't really know because I was so young at the time. I know my dad was heavily influenced on that.
So your dad always had like a love for sports?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's crazy, man. Shit. It's my point to say I'm high right now.
Bro, yeah. It's about that time for you to say that.
Where are we, guys?
It's been a long day, but it's been a good day, man.
Yep. Yeah,
hey, what kind of sneakers are you rocking? Because I know you be on your sneaker game, too.
I'm just wearing some beater Yeezys right now, but, I got everything. I got Jordan 1s, I got SBs. I wasn't really a sneakerhead until up to about 2 or 3 years ago, and then I was like, wow, I found a new hobby, and I started collecting a lot of sneakers. I think my favorite pair is the Retro 4 Guava Ices that I have. I love those shoes, I got the SB Hawaiis too, which got the floral print. Those are really fun shoes as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to get online; you have to order them and stuff. You kind of just make a phone call to one of the, you know what I mean? Do you have it like that sometimes, or have you kind of built some,
No, I just order them from that company everyone hates, StockX. I'm not afraid to deal with those people, and they've never fucked me over. So.
Yeah, physical tripping.
You don't mind, right?
Yeah.
Wow, people are beefing with them or what?
Everybody's hating on StockX right now.
People they released some fake Jordan 1s to some people.
I kind of heard about that, but it was like they were like through like Jordan, right? Or no?
I think the way StockX works is as they receive the item from the seller.
Gotcha.
They authenticate it and then they send it to you. So I think they authenticated some shoes that weren't authentic.
Right. Let me ask you this question. Why hasn't someone came out with an app that just does that shit, like straight up? Where you could take a picture and be like, real or fake? Like, you know what I mean?
There's too many intricacies.
Kind of like those wine apps where you take a picture of the bottle of wine and it tells you the rating and how much it should cost and whatnot,
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
But those, though, what you're saying, though, authenticating, it's like it's in the fine detail.
Yeah.
It's in the fine detail. You gotta be like a real
expert. Shout out to homie AP. I seen he posted the picture of the Jordans with the little dick and shit. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
There's so many funny ones out there. They're roasting StockX right now, bro. That's probably what the meme was and everything.
I also deal with a guy here in Denver. I don't know if you guys know him. He goes by Pinchy Kicks on Instagram, but he finds me everything I always need. You can look him up on Instagram. But he sells me shoes at a good price. I've bought several from him, so it's not just StockX. But
hey, what kind of music you listen to? I see it's like a 90s hip hop.
90s hip hop, reggae.
Definitely reggae. Huh?
Yeah, I named my daughter after Bob Marley and named her Marley, so I definitely love reggae. There's a special place in my heart for that. I got all those those artists, those portraits of those reggae artists on my leg. Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer, David Hines.
Hey, how'd you get into reggae? I remember hearing reggae getting into a little bit like in high school. Or not high school, like college.
I just, the first time I listened to reggae was in high school. I can't remember which Bob Marley album it was, but that was my first experience with reggae. And ever since then.
Yeah, just fan.
Yeah.
I know, I love that shit. That's like, I remember when I really first got into Bob Marley, and I was like, oh yeah. I got completely engulfed. I had to listen to everything. I had to see it all and take it all in. It was pretty dope.
But reggae definitely holds a special place in my heart. It's just got, a positive feel to it, and there's always a good message involved.
And weed.
You been to Jamaica?
And lots of weed too. What's that?
Have you been to Jamaica?
I haven't. That's one place I want to go. I want to go to Jamaica, and I want to visit the Bob Marley Museum. I want to see his house. Yeah. Go to the ghetto. Do all that shit. Because that means a lot to me. Yeah.
Have you been to Jamaica, Queens?
No, I want to go though. Oh, are you talking about New York?
Yeah, Lost Boys.
I've been to New York. I don't know if I've been to that part of Queens. I don't know. I don't think I have. I think I would have remembered if I did.
I was fucking Yum High as a motherfucker on here.
Me too.
But LB fam, you know what I mean? I'll be fucking loving me some music.
You got this beautiful mothership sitting in front of me.
I know, that thing is amazing, bro.
Talk about that shit, man. That's a piece, right?
Yeah, it was purchased through Glass House Gallery Incorporated on Instagram, but it's...
He said Glass House Gallery.
Yeah, but it's a mothership. Mothership Glass was started by Scott Deppie. He's a good friend of mine. I have several pieces by Mothership, but this one, it's a deep carved Klein, and it's a lot of fun. It just eats through hash, and it's a beautiful piece too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I have a fucking question I keep forgetting, bro.
Yo, I honestly, we kind of skipped past what it was like growing up here in Denver. Like going to school, I was kind of curious. Like, what was that? Like, did anybody? Was it? Were you amongst like other people who were, kind of living the same kind of lifestyle as you, or were you kind of
not
just
too many?
stand out?
I had a lot of people that I assume were jealous of me and who my father was.
Right.
I had a lot of people make fun of me in high school, and I don't really give a shit at this point.
Just haters and shit.
Just fucking haters,
Yeah. They did. You did have more of that. Then did you have any like good friends and shit that you built?
Yeah. Great friends. I got a couple great friends from high school, and then a couple great friends from college too. And one of my great friends from college, I want to give him a quick shout out.
Yeah,
if that's
sure.
okay.
Yeah,
already.
Matt Holmes, Colorado Fresh CBD. He has everything you need CBD wise, but he works with some of the best growers in Colorado, in my opinion. You open a bag of this CBD flower and it smells and looks like real weed.
Oh shit!
So shout out to Matt Holmes and Colorado Fresh CBD.
Is he here from Denver?
Yeah, he is from Denver.
Because that name sounds hella familiar.
Yeah, he's my boy, but he's got everything that you need: topicals, flour, pre-rolls, whatever you want, tinctures.
Dope.
Yeah.
Do you believe in that shit, like CBD? Do you think that shit really helps? Do you partake?
Yeah, I do. I do believe in that stuff. It helps me a lot, I've got the roller that I put on my lower back and whatnot, and it always helps. And I don't really smoke the CBD flower because it's just, I don't know.
CBD, you could take it in so many other ways.
I can take it in so many other ways. It's like, why would I smoke it?
It doesn't get you high. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, if you want to, but if you're trying to smoke and not have THC,
right,
and still do some like good for yourself instead of tobacco and, you know, those other options.
Hemp is the way to go.
Hemp is definitely the way to go.
And if you're going to be smoking hemp in Colorado, look out for my boy's company.
Definitely check them out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How long you been smoking weed, or like?
I've been smoking since I was 15.
Partaking.
Yeah.
Through the lacrosse stick.
Yeah, through the lacrosse
That's wow.
stick.
I can see it, dude. I can see.
How many times did you smoke through the lacrosse stick? Just that one time, or?
Yeah, it was just that one time.
How'd y'all smoke the next time?
Found a better way.
Yeah, I think we just.
Easy can.
I don't even remember. But
How'd y'all even get the weed though?
What's that?
How'd you get the weed?
My buddy got it for us. I don't know how the fuck he came about it, but you know, it was probably good for what I was at that time.
Right.
25 years ago or whatnot, you know.
It was like good weed for that time.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't have no swag. You ever smoke swag?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure
I'm not afraid to admit it.
I was just wondering if you had. Yeah, I don't know if it ever came across. You know.
I remember one time I smoked swag though, and it got me higher than regular weed. I don't know what the fuck happened.
It was just that too. It was just that transition. Like we were talking about that. Like
yeah, you get used to a certain.
If we had an ounce of Reggie and we blazed that shit, we'd be 3 times as high as we are right now. And I'm fucking high. Just that whole different map will fuck you up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'd be down. Elvis said he wouldn't be down. He started talking about chemicals and shit. I kind of started thinking about it too, but I'm like, fuck.
Bro, these fools are like literally spraying their harvest stuff. Nowadays, it's like illegal weed is not good.
Hey, I went into a dispensary in Las Vegas. It's called Planet 13. Don't ever fucking go there.
Don't ever go to Planet 13.
They spray hemp with Delta 8 and Delta 9. And they don't even have real weed in there. It's it's embarrassing.
Damn.
That's unreal.
I went in there just recently just to check it out, and they had weed that looked like that fucking weird, dry, fucking nasty shit that they had on the back 3 pages of High Times back in the day.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
That's gross.
Weed's come definitely a long way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
But also, like, there was people back in the day growing some fire.
Was there?
Yeah.
Do you guys think 20 years from now there's going to be a way for us to get higher than we can get right now from marijuana?
Absolutely.
Do you think the genetics are going to get better? Do you think there's going to be like different
technological advance,
or like what's going on here? What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be like a combination thing, almost kind of like a caviar kind of.
I think there is people formulating. There's new science. There's new science coming out.
The genetics now
every day. Just edibles already.
Yeah, edibles.
It's unreal.
You ever seen that? It's like a Vice kind of little documentary about these guys that go to like Africa to find this strain of weed. It's like
strain hunters, right?
I think so. And they like go on the Nile for like fucking 5 days, and they get malaria, and they finally get it. These fools are tripping. Like these fools are like ready to kill them. They're having to pay fools off, and like they bring back like maybe 100 seeds. You know what I mean? But they're like talking like $1.5 million a plant, and it's like some shit. Like basically they talk about it's almost like meth, but without the addictiveness. And it's like meth weed, like almost. It's like weed that you smoke that fucking.
I call bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, could be. I mean, but some crazy.
This is a documentary.
Yeah, it's like it's on Vice. And these fools like go like I said, it's not like to the city and get this. And these fools go on the Nile for like a week. They're like, this is the 5th day we've been on.
And
this
they
boat.
grew it. And
no, they find it, and they bring it back.
They bring it back and they're growing it.
They take it to Europe or some shit like that, and they fucking put it in the labs and start fucking.
Yeah, speaking of Vice, my buddy and I, we've been working on something special with Vice, so keep an eye out for that as well. It's going to be cannabis related, obviously, but it's going to be really, really cool. It's gonna cost a lot to produce, obviously, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be totally worth it.
Right. That's one dope thing with, the connections is you definitely, if you want to do some dope shit or have some ideas, you could definitely be walked through the door to fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The shortcut, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have another connection I made with two famous glassblowers, Yushin and WJC, and I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but these guys make pieces upwards of $50,000-$60,000.
God damn.
And I'm in the talks with them to make some stuff for an Alzheimer's auction in honor of my parents and other people that have experienced that shit. But I think it's going to be great for the cannabis community, and it's going to bring a lot of money for the Alzheimer's Foundation as well. So
that's real dope.
Yeah.
I got to support that shit, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of cool stuff in the works, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, shit, man.
Tell the people how to find you. Some shout outs.
You want to give your IG?
Yeah, Marley for Life 84. My accounts, primarily for my family and friends, but yeah, if you want to check me out or shoot me a DM, please do so. Yeah.
It's like one of those things we talked on the last podcast. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Don't ask.
Exactly.
Don't tell. I had a couple nights. See, now I'm starting to remember questions. I'm already back to the interview. Growing up, like, with football and all that shit, who were, like, kind of, did you have any, like, favorite players outside of the Broncos? Because, like, I mean, like I said, you had access to everything. You can fucking go in your locker room, their locker room, pre-shit, post-shit, like, the night before, like, you know what I mean? You're like a kid, like, really in Disneyland, bro, if you like sports.
Yeah, I didn't really have any favorites outside of the Broncos as a kid.
That's dope, though. You're a diehard Broncos fan.
I was a diehard Broncos fan. I remember my dad having Michael Johnson in our box. He was Olympic
gold
athlete,
medalist.
medalist.
Who's your dad's favorite player? Do you know? Was it Elway?
Yeah, I think so. My dad let Elway ride a motorcycle, and they don't let anyone ride a motorcycle.
For real? Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. That's a no-no.
My dad loved Elway for sure.
You ever get like starstruck because you are, you know what I mean? You get to meet like famous people all the time.
Not all the time, but when I'm in the right place at an event or whatever, and it seems to always happen, which is pretty cool. Saw Usain Bolt one time.
Oh shit!
Yeah, right. He was so tall, I didn't even realize it was him at first. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Hey, well, shit, we definitely appreciate you coming on by, man. We wish you guys nothing but the best, here coming up. Are you excited for the Broncos this year? I mean, you kind of said, I get it. I mean, they got Russell Wilson.
I'm excited.
I'm ready for him, like I said.
I think this is the best opportunity we've had since Super Bowl 50 to win another championship. Everything is in the right place. I don't really give a fuck about what other people outside of the Bronco fan community think, but I think this is the best chance we have since Super Bowl 50.
I think on our search for a quarterback, the team's been building around it, and now it's finally better. We're just missing that piece, and hopefully, Russell Wilson can step in here.
The piece of the puzzle,
Yeah, I mean, he brings brings. I don't know what I don't want to say Hollywood, but I mean, I don't know. They can spice up the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Denver's already an awesome place. People just sleep on it. I mean, if they really knew what's up, they'd be here in a minute.
Other than the altitude and how dry it is here, it's just, which kicks my ass every day. I fucking love this place. I love Colorado. I love the people here, and the cannabis community here. It's all really cool. It's all special stuff, man.
And it's not like overdone yet. You know what I mean? Like LA's overdone.
It's,
you know what I mean? LA, we're still in that.
Fuck LA.
We're still.
It takes fucking 40 minutes to go fucking 2 miles in that fucking city at any time of the day. I don't care.
Hey, you need to be like LA and jump on the scooter nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get on the scooter. I remember that video.
That place was lovely during COVID. I'll tell you that, man.
Yeah.
Get everywhere. Now, like you said, literally, and parking and all that shit. Like I can just imagine, like just.
Oh, it's terrible. You know, my sister lives there, or one of my 3 sisters lives there, but yeah, it's a mess. You know, I couldn't stand being there for more than 3 or 4 days. It's just too hectic for me.
Whole lot going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a whole lot.
Hey, what's your other favorite place to live or stay besides Denver, Colorado?
Hawaii, for sure, where I was born.
Is that like the back and forth for you? Do you kind of spend a lot of time there? Or?
Yeah, I do. That Hawaii holds a special place in my heart. I was born there, and we spread my dad's ashes there, and I just love going there. It means everything to me. My whole right arm is tattooed Polynesian style.
Okay.
So yeah, I love Hawaii.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
You ever afraid it's gonna go under?
What's that?
You ever afraid it's gonna go under?
Not anytime soon.
It is in the middle of nowhere out there, bro.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, no, man, definitely not. Hawaii is a great spot. I'll always love it, and I'll always go back, and I'll never be afraid of that place disappearing. You know.
Yeah, I'll be high. All right, man. Well, shit, we appreciate you again.
Yes, sir.
Shit, this is your boy JoeThunder. We got Elvis Freshleee over here.
Yeah.
Pat Bowlen
High
the
as
third.
fuck.
Yeah, we high.
I'm high, bro.
I'm
Heavily medicated.
11 West Hampton. Or up north, you know what I mean? Boondocks, across the street from the Boondocks. We out of here.
Across the street from the Boondocks.
Across the highway. Yeah, across the highway.
It's a whole ass highway.
Like some Frogger and shit. You ever play that shit when you were a little kid? The little Frogger, you be trying not to get hit by the car and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I throw it back with the video games full.
Just to be like a normal person and put it in your maps or your GPS and just be good enough, man. You know,
yeah.
that'd be weird.
The party. We're out of here.
Yo, peace.
Find us on all platforms. Later. Peace.